We can now go across to Gulliver Cragg, standing by in Kyiv. Gulliver, yesterday Ukrainian officials said Russian troops were storming the Azovstal steel plant in Mariupol. Do we know where things stand right now?
Well, right at this exact moment, I'm not sure, but certainly over the past few days, Russian forces have been trying to storm Azovstal, and that means that they have not only been pummeling it with artillery and airstrikes, but also trying to break into the grounds of the steel plant on the ground, including with the use of tanks, according to fighters who are there. And the Russians have managed to enter the perimeter of the Azovstal plant, but they haven't managed to take full control of it at all. I think maybe people who aren't familiar with steel plants find it hard to imagine is just how huge this place is. I mean, it's the size of a reasonable sized town, Azovstal. It's really a very, very big place. And that's also why fighters in Azovstal, who gave a press conference actually on Sunday using the Starlink satellite internet service in order to give a press conference, they said that they didn't understand why the Ukrainian government had announced that all civilians had now been evacuated from Azovstal, because they themselves, the fighters who were there, had no way of knowing how many civilians might still be hiding or trapped in other parts of the plant. And it later emerged that there were still some civilians who needed to be evacuated after the government had announced that they had all been evacuated. So more evacuations have been going on, but they continue to be difficult because the Russians, even once people are out of Azovstal, don't necessarily let them into Ukrainian-held territory. There's a case that's made a lot of ripples in the media here in Ukraine of one 4-year-old girl whose mother was taken by the Russians. She didn't pass whatever kind of control that the Russians have, and the 4-year-old girl had to travel on without her mother, who fell into Russian captivity after thinking that they had escaped the nightmare of being in the steel plant.
And Gulliver, the mayor of Kyiv, where you are, says that close to 2/3 of the city's residents have returned. Is that something you have noticed? And amongst the residents you've spoken to, have they been in other parts of Ukraine or outside the country itself?
Yeah, I can answer this question really very anecdotally, because I just went away from Kyiv for a couple of days, and on the way back I encountered a traffic jam. And that was the first traffic jam I've seen, apart from when there were those terrible, extremely long traffic jams of people fleeing Kyiv just at the end of February. Since I'd come back to Kyiv in March, I haven't seen a traffic jam in this city, which is notorious for traffic jams, up until today. But today there was one, and I think that's clear evidence that a lot of people have come back. A lot of people waited until after the 9th of May to come back because they were worried about what Vladimir Putin might do on the 9th of May. Kyiv was not attacked on the 9th of May, and people thought, okay, now it's time. I think that's the learning from what I saw on the road today anyway.